Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk Russell T Davies and the new Doctor Who. The new Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa, has come out and made a pretty big name for himself. Bad one, obviously. But the writer is also to blame, obviously, clearly. The showrunner, Russell T Davies, he's come out and basically said, we're going to do a lot of progressive messaging in our show. In fact, it goes so far as to say, and I quote, "If you're not writing that in 2024, what on earth are you doing?" Isn't it? It's that moral argument. Trying to stand on a moral ground that, no, this is the right thing to do. And if you don't do this, you're worse than me. Can't stand moral grandstanding. Especially when it gets in the way of narrative. And just people having a bit of escapism. People don't want to be lectured to. And that's why people are switching off significant programs that they used to love, Doctor Who being one of them. So let's take a look. Let's hit subscribe. If you're new here, guys, please do hit subscribe. And do share the video to those that, I don't know, may still be watching Doctor Who. Let's take a look. Again, what a quote. If you're not writing that in 2024, what on earth are you doing? I don't know. Being a bigot, I guess. A bigot that cares more about a story. Anyway, it says this: to the surprise of absolutely no one who has kept appraised of either the current media landscape or the content of the series' recent special, showrunner Russell T Davies has confirmed that the upcoming season of Doctor Who will feature a particularly heavy focus on both progressive messaging and socio-political commentary. That's just what I want in Doctor Who. I'm so glad. Ugh. So Davies provided the insight during an April 2024 interview given to Rolling Stone's Alan Sepinwall in promotion of the Doctor's forthcoming return to the airwaves. I do think it is interesting because I don't think they have yet, anyway, released the long-term viewing figures for the specials. There was a few of them, but they didn't release the one which was just for Ncuti Gatwa. As far as I can tell. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm pretty certain they didn't. Which is really bad if they didn't. Bearing in mind, this is the person that says, look, if you've got a problem with, a gay black man being Doctor Who, then, go outside, go touch grass, you're not a fan. It's like, they're probably not fans of that Doctor, because that's not Doctor Who. It's just not. But anyway, here we go. So it says, this is the interview. It says, at one point in the interview, he was pressed for his thoughts regarding actor Ncuti Gatwa's casting as the first black actor to ever portray the series' titular hero, Doctor Who. It says proper because actress Jo Martin previously appeared as a future incarnation of the Time Lord, known as the Fugitive Doctor. So not actually, so kind of was a Doctor as well. But anyway, Davies said, "It's about time." Why? Why is it about time? I've said this before, and I'll say it now. Diversity as a concept is a racist concept. Because diversity as an ideological concept in how it's portrayed and how it's pushed for, right? Bear with me, is predicated on the notion that because of the colour of your skin, you are somehow special. We must have more diversity. And what diversity means is a difference of skin. It's an incredibly racist concept because, again, it's predicated purely on the notion that you are special because skin colour. And this would be the same if it was white people, black people, you name it, all colours of the rainbow. It's racist. Why is it about time? And that response itself, it's about time, just that response tells me everything I need to know about why they cast Ncuti Gatwa. Because before there was an interview where he was like, you know what? No, we didn't try to go and get it. No, we can't. Loads of people were doing auditions. No, they weren't. Cope. No, they weren't. Stop the cap. No, they weren't. No one else. You were looking specifically for a gay black man. Because it's about time, isn't it, Russell? Anyway, it says further, sometimes big old terrestrial and streaming shows can be slow machines to catch up with the world. And I'm getting older now, so you become one of those gatekeepers of television, for want of a better word, and your job is to hold the gate open. Come on, everyone. Reinforcing Davies' argument, the aforementioned Gatwa himself, being jointly interviewed alongside the show, and added, that's what the show does. It evolves and it regenerates. I feel like it's about time, and I'm here. For all you dammers out there, I'm not going anywhere. You will eventually. And you'll also just be known as the diversity hire. Because you were the diversity hire. And that's sad. If I was black, and even if I'm white, I would never want to be hired simply because of the colour of my skin. Or what I do with my genitals. It's just pathetic. That is deeply demoralising. That is deeply demoralising. So on the topic of personal identities, Davies then addressed the fact that both he and Gatwa were themselves queer. Because it's so important. Telling Sepinwall that while many feared otherwise, their sexualities would have no undue or excessive influence on the season's storytelling. We've already seen him dancing in what looked like a gay bar. Or some... just ultra camp stuff. Come on now. I don't walk around thinking all day about being queer. I bet you do, though. And I bet you want everyone to know it. And what's my queer energy today? Explained Davies. You're talking to people who live a queer life. So this is completely normal. And where I'm slightly amazed is that anyone finds this different. Come on, straight people. Come and find out. No, thank you. I'm good. And this shouldn't be shown to children either. It just shouldn't be. So to this end, Gatwa then noted that while many have taken to describing his version of the Doctor as queer, he himself was reluctant to apply any human label to the Doctor because they're an alien. Absolute cope. They've been with all sorts. That is a labelless and limitless. And I think it represents our ability to be limitless and our ability to be anything. The alien or you? And that character can be anyone and played by anyone. I feel very, very honoured that I get to be the first of a couple of things. Because I think if you're a true fan of the show, you understand that. You understand that Doctor Who lends itself to inclusivity and to diversity. And welcoming different people in. That's what Russell has done. I'm very happy to be a part of that vision. Right, anyway, so more nonsense, a relatively progressive show. Davies' upcoming run would lean particularly hard on such topics, as evidenced by the introduction of Donna Noble's trans child, the Doctor being chided over his pronoun usage, and an upcoming episode serving as a metaphor for women's reproductive rights, to which the showrunner exclaimed in turn, "If you're not writing that in 2024, what on earth are you doing?" Left-wing people truly have no capacity for imagination. They must write about what they see around them. Has to be. Or somewhat imagination. Their perceived reality. How pathetic. I think our rights are in danger, he posited. I'm talking as someone who's lived through gay liberation all the way through the AIDS crisis. There wouldn't have been an AIDS crisis if you just worn something, mate. Alright? If you weren't such degenerates that didn't wear anything. All the way through to the freedoms that we have now. I can see them spinning and being endangered. Not in the UK. Shut the fuck up. So there's no choice in this. And if the most exciting and entertaining action adventure show on television can also do that, I think that's wonderful. So you just admitted to co-opting your own show to subvert people to what you perceive as a political threat to your social issues. That's sad and quite pathetic. But there you go. Oh, God. It really wears me out. Stuff like this. But guys, it's about time. And if you're not doing this in 2024, what are you doing? You bigot. What are you doing? Leave it down below, guys. Alright? You bigots.